Hi, everyone. So, for the discussion this week and watching the documentary Free Solo, that was actually my first time watching it. I've heard of it, but I've never seen the documentary before. I think, in terms of his self awareness and his self management, a couple of the things that stand out to me are involved with his preparation, both physically and mentally. So I think obviously through the training, I've personally have never climbed a mountain before, but I would imagine there's a lot of physical training that goes into it. Um, so taking care of his physical training as well as his mental through certain aspects like visualization, as well as I think studying the route that he planned to take. Like I said, I've never climbed a mountain before, but I would imagine that it's a very high risk, high reward situation. I think the documentary also spoke about, a couple free climbers that have lost their lives during climbs. So that can induce a lot of stress and a lot of doubt, especially in the moment when you're in the middle of a climb. So certain things like I think visualization and then studying the route that he wanted to take or studying his surroundings also gives him the best opportunity to make the best decision possible if his original plan doesn't go his way. So um, I think that, in terms of his emotional intelligence, that doubt and that concern and that stress, that's all very real. There are certain practices that he put into play that helped him feel the most prepared and most confident when he went into the climb. And I think that that's something that we all have things that scare us, a little extra. We all have things that create a little more doubt than others. And I don't think that by any means that doubt or that concern or the stress should limit us from ever experiencing those circumstances. But I think that as long as we take the approach of just making sure our preparation is the best it can be, allows us to go into those circumstances with more confidence and more trust in ourselves. And then in regards to leadership and self leadership, I think something that stood out to me was as a softball player many years back, I had a coach tell me one time that you hear a lot of coaches or a lot of people say, trust the work that you put in to the things you do. And she took it a step further and said, do work worth trusting. And I think that, I use that phrase all the time with my athletes now. I say, trust your work, trust the work you put in, trust the work you put in. But I think that what really helps us is doing work worth trusting. And I think that in leadership, I can help my athletes limit the doubt and the stress and the uncertainty by putting them on a path to do the right work that they need to be the best version of themselves, as well as practicing the self leadership and making sure that I'm doing that for myself and demonstrating it for them. In terms of, I don't do the physical work that they do anymore, but I do have a lot of preparation that's necessary for my job. And I can continue to demonstrate that preparation and that, self-confidence, even in doubtful situations, that will help them feel more confident in their ability to do that as well. Just by modes of, I think, seeing another person doing it, especially their coach. But thank you all for listening. I hope you guys have a great week.